Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast, powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at comed.com/clean. Hey,
Clean.
It's Wednesday.
Clean.
We're almost through our week of no Blackhawks hockey.
The work week.
Yes, it's Greg Boysen, it's Mario Tirabassi. Jay still enjoying his time in Disney World. Probably having.
Do we know that for a fact? Do we know if he's actually enjoying himself?
Well,
he's smiling in his pictures.
He's posting pictures.
Okay, there are tweets, and I haven't. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
yeah.
Jay. I haven't been following your tweets. My bad.
Usually when people post pictures from vacation, they're in good moods. Usually.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, he is in the happiest place on earth. So
Sure.
I mean,
supposedly.
it's in Florida, but still. So yeah, we're making it through this no Blackhawks hockey week.
It's actually been nice.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to get in a little of a routine. Feels like the off season.
I've liked the set schedule. Yep.
Yes, and it's also nice to not have to watch the Blackhawks not score a goal.
Yeah.
That's nice to have a reprieve from that.
Hey, dry January ends today.
That's great.
I mean, yeah, you can't not score goals if you're not playing games.
This is true. They did not get shut out this week yet, so congratulations to everyone involved. So today we're gonna have our guy, our pal, Pete Blackburn from the What Chaos Show. He's going to join us in for the second half of the show. Him and DJ Bean are heading to Toronto for the All-Star festivities. So we'll chat about that, preview the big weekend ahead, and I'm sure he'll have some good little tidbits for us. But until he calls in, The Athletic released their annual players, anonymous players,
cowards, bunch of cowards. Put your name on it.
Exactly. Lots of cool questions. They ask a bunch of different players who don't want to be identified, and some fun categories. And we'll start with.
There was actually some Blackhawks representation in these polls, which I was not expecting whatsoever.
Some good, some not so good.
Yeah. Which, I mean, sure.
But I mean, we gotta start with the obvious one. It's the title of the show. So. Yeah. Who is the player? Who's the player in the league with the whose face you want to punch the most?
Punchable face.
That was easy for me to read. That's badly worded. So yeah, who do you want to punch the most in the league? Overall winner was Nick Cousins at 28.5%.
I mean, he's been doing some whackery in the last couple of weeks. So
he should be looking for property on the suburbs of Pudwackistan.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a resident there very soon. He seems to be the guy that causes some crap and then doesn't want to answer the bell for his crap and goes to hide behind other people. So
that would make you be punchable.
Yes. The other category finished second with 1633. So I don't know if it was just basically one-off votes.
They said, so it says here at the bottom, the other is basically all players that got like one vote each.
Right.
And there's a lot of others. And that is where the Blackhawks land.
Where we find
Taylor Raddysh.
Surprising.
And for some reason,
our guy.
MacKenzie Entwistle.
No, now we have to defend our guy.
Look.
How can you punch? Why would you want to punch a guy that they call Twisty?
I mean, when you don't have a family and you don't have, loved ones to turn to, and then someone wants to go and punch you in the face, I mean, that's just mean. This is rude. That's schoolyard bullying right there.
It's bad spirits, and whoever the one person that says it is, I hope karma comes knocking on.
Now, what if it was? What if Entwistle chose Raddysh and Raddysh chose Entwistle?
That is what someone on the Twitters suggested, that it was a possibility they want to punch each other.
It was an inside job,
and the anonymity allowed them to air out their grievance.
I mean, that was one of my first thoughts. Was like it had to be another Blackhawk that said they wanted to punch one of those guys.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of does Entwistle have, or maybe it's a former teammate of his from juniors?
He and Alex DeBrincat used to fight in practice.
This is true too.
So it could have been Alex DeBrincat that got that vote in.
Yeah. So or is our guy Charlie the Bacon guy that says, is it just their face or their game style that's most punchable? And it just could be like, MacKenzie Entwistle's got the baby face and no scars. He needs a punch, maybe knock a tooth out, make him look like a hockey player.
It could be. I mean, the question was posed, who's the player in the league whose face you want to punch? So, I mean, it is focused on the face.
Yeah.
That is where most punches land in hockey fights.
I think
I would say it's the helmet.
Well, that's the target is the face.
Yes.
The target is the face. Yeah.
knock the helmet off, then go to town.
Yeah. Be a real man. Take your helmet off.
So I think our goal Monday when we get back to Blackhawks practice.
Oh, this is the first question.
We got to go to both of these guys and be like, yeah, so who voted to punch you in the face? Do you know who it is? I bet you do.
Who do you think it is?
Spill the beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone was saying it was probably Taylor Raddysh or Darren Raddysh that voted for Taylor.
I could buy that. Or maybe it was the other Taylor Raddysh.
I had to, Mrs. Taylor Raddysh, maybe. Yeah, they sent the email to the wrong person. Yeah, I had to look. I had to make sure that Darren Raddysh was still in the NHL to vote for this poll, but he is.
I saw something. He has the hardest shot in the NHL these days. I think it was The Athletic put out a thing of like tracking all the stats.
Yeah.
And on average, Darren Raddysh has the hardest shot in the NHL this season.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Is he in the hardest shot competition?
He's not.
Nope.
Because he's not.
He can't. It won't be able to prove it then.
No, exactly.
Unfortunately. Others
Ice
on
Hogs
this
legend
list.
Darren Raddysh,
Yes.
by the way.
Yeah, Ice Hogs legend for sure.
Him.
So let's say second place then is other quote unquote, but out of individual players behind Nick Cousins is Brad Marchand. No surprise there. Matthew Tkachuk is third, and then a tie between Michael Bunting and Connor Garland.
I was kind of surprised to see Connor Garland on. I didn't
He
think
he plays that way though. Like he
I don't watch enough of him to.
He plays the way that like a Bunting. Like he'll get under your skin. He'll probably give you a couple extra jabs. So I can see why people would want to take a swing at Connor Garland after a while. Also on the list, the other Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk, is on there. The spitter, Garnett Hathaway, is on there. Nazem Kadri, he's definitely that kind of player that gets under your skin, makes you want to punch. Jeff Skinner, I'm surprised by because he seems like a really nice guy. Jeff Skinner seems like a really nice guy.
He probably, I get you, he's the guy that like is the low-key mega chirper.
He'll throw the butt end of his stick in your ribs when
like
you're not looking for it.
He'll skate by and like just say something completely like, you son of a, like.
He also seems like really nice and smiley and personable, and I could see other players in the NHL being like, I just want to punch that guy.
Yeah.
Because he's nice and smiley and charming.
Might be why MacKenzie Entwistle got the vote.
That could be
Same
true.
reasons. We're just like, oh, that guy's so fake. Not that McKenzie's
MacKenzie Entwistle, confirmed fake. He's not real. He was actually on that plane. Yeah, I mean that I found that to be interesting to see Entwistle and Raddysh in there.
Kind of surprised Jacob Trouba didn't make that list.
Yeah, not even in the in the mentionables.
This is a guy that's going out there like trying to decapitate your teammates, and no one wants to punch him in the face.
I think you don't want to punch Jacob Trouba because you know an elbow to the head is coming your way. So maybe if you get like one free punch, maybe. But if you're gonna have to,
take a proactive shot, get him before he gets you.
That's true.
Because maybe if you punch him hard enough, he won't come after you because he's like, that guy's gonna kick my ass.
Could be.
I'm good. I'm gonna go after somebody like Andreas Anthony because I'm a tough guy.
Former Blackhawk Nikita Zadorov also on this list. Yeah, I mean, I applaud the Athletic for putting the question out there because obviously fighting is part of the game. But to pose it as like, who would you want to fight? Like, obviously there's guys that are just like, I don't want to fight anybody. But being like, who would you just want to punch in the face? That's a different being. Because around this office, there are people that I would punch in the face, but not fight.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna do our own ranking.
I'm gonna move my chair
top 10,
slightly out of arm's reach.
Top 10 punchable faces in the CHGO Sports Office. No, I'm just kidding.
10-way tie for first.
I'm just kidding.
We love everybody.
They're all calm.
He's not wrong.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
We love
That's
Carm.
2 shows in a row that Carm's gotten a stray bullet.
Well, he should start listening more, and then he could call us out on it.
That's true.
All right, so let's go with another kind of negative connotated category.
Let's
Who's
be
the
negative.
most overrated player in the league? 101 votes. The other category was first with 26.73, but the player,
Man, other is
that guy is a jerk.
People hate other.
Yeah.
Wait, so what does that mean, other? What?
It's the collaborative or the collective group of people who got like a single vote or not enough to be like a high enough percentage.
Everyone else who got one vote.
Yeah,
exactly. So
the biggest
26%. So 101 votes, essentially 26 players got one vote,
Yep.
and that's the category. But as far as singled out players,
Top one.
Mr. Coverboy himself, Trevor Zegras, almost 13% of the votes for most overrated. And to tell you the truth, that does not surprise me.
No.
I think a lot of people, a lot of the veterans in the league and more of the grindy kind of guys see his, flashiness and say, like,
Yeah. He also landed on the punchable face list.
probably
So
for
I
the
think-
same reasons he landed on this list.
Yeah, I'm sure there is some around the league animosity towards Trevor Zegras because, like, I like Trevor Zegras. I think he's a very skilled, fun player. But I think since he's gotten into the league, he's pulled the Michigan off on the same night that Connor Bedard did. Selfish prick. But he also did the alley-oop pass. So like his notoriety has come from like the flashy plays. Right. But outside of one season, like he's been hurt a lot. His production's been down. So I can see why people around the league are just like, this kid's like, he's just like a what's the term I'm looking for? Not one trick pony, but so like some sort of like specialist. He's a fancy play specialist.
Yeah, like I believe a term used by one of my favorite podcasters out there, good old JR, Jim Ross from the pro wrestling world. He likes to use the term,
by God,
all sizzle, no steak.
Yeah.
Say it like JR.
I'm not even going to do it any justice.
All sizzle, no steak.
No, that's Trevor Zegras' music.
By
God. There you go. All right, there it is.
That man has a family.
So Trevor Zegras, then Darnell Nurse, Matthew Tkachuk, Jason Robertson, Jonathan Huberdeau, and then we got to scroll down
this list.
Blackhawk made the list with 1.98% out of 101 votes. To me, that means two people.
Two votes, yeah.
Seth Jones. But if you
Jones.
listen to our chat a lot, how can you be overrated when you're garbage?
That's true. Yeah. I mean, man, if Seth Jones made $7 million, do you think anyone would care about him? No. Like not to say that you don't care about Seth Jones, but like, would anyone give him the grief that he receives from the NHL fan base and the Blackhawks fan base? Like, if he was making $7 million, you'd be like, hey, man, I'm glad we have Seth Jones. Like, it's the contract that no athlete is going to turn down and say, you're paying me too much.
Right.
His downfall is accepting too much money that someone else gave him. Like,
I think
it's just so. I feel bad for him because he is a very skilled player who is being paid to be the most skilled player at his position, which he's not, but he's being paid like it.
Yeah, I would imagine that the two guys that voted for him, their combined salaries don't equal what he's making this year, so there might be a little jealousy there.
Could be.
So on the other side of that coin,
what's interesting to me about this poll is that not every category has the same amount of votes. Because Punchable Face had 147 votes, but this one only has 101. So people were omitting answers here.
They're scared. They turtled.
Cowards.
That's the hockey term. They turtled. On the flip side of overrated, we have underrated, which got 168 votes. A lot of people were able to get brave when they're talking about guys not getting enough credit.
You wanna stick up for your underrated teammate, that's for sure.
We have the other category.
Man. How can you be the most overrated and most underrated player?
I mean, when your last name is Other, you're going to cause a lot of confusion.
I would love to get just a plain like black jersey with the NHL logo and just have Other on the back.
The New Jersey Devil jersey that just says Jersey on it.
There you go. Yeah.
Other on the back.
Yeah.
As far as actual players, no surprise here. This guy always seems to be at the top of this list.
He's not
Barkov.
underrated. He's not underrated. Everyone knows about him. Yeah. Everyone knows about Alex Barkov. He's not underrated. I fucking hate this take. You cannot be the most underrated player for your entire fucking career. Like, everyone knows how good he is.
I agree.
Stop saying Alex Barkov is underrated.
Pick, especially when you were in the Stanley Cup final last year.
Yeah.
Like, I think you got a little.
Like, you've been
there.
like, correct me if I'm wrong, multi-time All-Star. Like, this guy's not underrated. People know how fucking good he is.
They also have Sam Reinhard, Braden Point. I don't buy that either. Mikko Rantanen, I agree with. Kyle Connor, that's your top 5. You scroll down a little bit, and you're going to see Jason Dickinson made this list.
Okay.
1.19%. So that's probably 2 or 3 votes based on
the category of the category of underrated player. Fuck. Barkov won the fucking Selke in 2021. Like you cannot win awards and be an all-star and be near a point per game player in this league and be like, he's underrated. Jason Dickinson, a player like him being on this list. Rupe Hintz, I'll agree with. Matthias Michelli, I'll agree with. Jacob Slavin, like those kinds of players, not getting the notoriety that they probably deserve. That's being underrated. Winning awards and going to all-star games, you're not underrated. So I get Sam Ryan, like Braden Point underrated. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, that's like,
come on.
I wonder if these guys, when they're placing their votes, if their mindset is, are they underrated by hockey fans and hockey media or underrated by other hockey players? Like maybe I don't give them enough, like players don't give this guy enough respect on the ice that they should.
Who's not giving Mikko Rantanen enough respect on the ice?
All the teams that allow him to score 50 of his goals, apparently.
Like, come on.
All it takes is him to just put his
These are all-stars on this list. Sebastian Aho.
It's like, it seems like maybe some of those guys on the list, on these 2 lists, should have been switched.
Yeah. Travis Konechny, I should have more votes. He is a great all-around player. This category always miffs me.
Nate has a suggestion maybe for the poll. Maybe it should have been underpromoted by the league.
Sure.
Might be a better term.
Sure.
But
that's not, but they shouldn't. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that
there's a different
Barkov should be on that list either, but I'm just,
He might be on that list because I think
he is underpromoted.
Like a lot of fans, he's not a household name. He should be.
I mean,
I mean, your casual hockey fan, you tell them to name the top 10 players in the league. How many of them are going to have Barkov on their list?
No, I agree. That is true.
But yeah, it all depends on, when you get, how are they voting for these players?
Nikita Kucherov. Fucking kidding me.
Well, that's somebody that's butthurt. That's somebody from,
Brandon Hagel being on here. Yep. Carter Verhaeghe. Yep. Clayton Keller. Absolutely. Like all these guys that got like 1 vote should be at the top and not Braden Point and Mikko Rantanen.
Stanley Cup winners.
Yeah. Jesus.
Well, what's not underrated?
One of our sponsors,
Price Cleaners, is definitely not underrated.
True.
One of our brand new sponsors. We're so happy to have the gang over at CD1 Price Cleaners on board. You know why they're the best and not underrated? It's their low prices. Customers can save over 30% on their dry cleaning bill by switching to CD1 Price Cleaners. They are simple, transparent, service is top-notch. Other cleaners charge a different price for every garment type. Plus, they have upcharges, and it may pay a different price each time you visit. At CD1 Price Cleaners, they charge one low price for any garment. Yep, even your hockey jerseys, the same low price. That's why they are One Price Cleaners. Plus, they offer you fast turnaround. CD1 Price Cleaners has your order ready the same or next day. Other cleaners may take 2 to 4 days to have your garments ready. CD1 Price Cleaners sends you a text message when your order is ready for pickup. Doesn't get any easier than that. Plus, they have a wide variety of services, including dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, blankets and comforters, tailoring and alterations, leather cleaning, and they'll even clean your area rugs. I know as a dog owner who sometimes like to be angry when we're out of the house, you need those area rugs cleaned every once in a while. So check them out. They've got a ton of new locations all over the Chicagoland area. Visit chgo.cd1, spell it out, one.com. Once there, you can pick from an in-store coupon or online pickup and delivery coupon offices. Once again, that is chgo.cd1one.com, and check out their offer for their new customers.
Michael has a good point here. You're really not supposed to dry and clean those hockey jerseys because if it's a sprint printed on jersey, that'll peel right off. But all your other dry clean needs,
sure,
Yes.
Well, then don't buy the knockoffs and get the real one. Take it to the dry cleaner.
That's
There
true.
you go.
Stop buying cheap jerseys, Michael Evans. Just kidding. Buy whatever you want.
Well, if you want to buy cheap tickets to any sporting event or concert or theater event or what have you, go through our friends at Game Time. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets to all of the events nearest to you. They have killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, the ability to see the view from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. I love Game Time for the fact that they just show you the prices of the tickets up front. I know you go to other ticket sites and it'll be like, wow, these 3 tickets for $60 in this section, that's amazing. You get to checkout. Oh, these 3 tickets are $140 after processing fees. Well, with Game Time, you'll be able to see the all-in price, everything included up front, so you're not getting duped when you go to checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use the code CHGO for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code CHGO, that's spelled CHGO, and you get $20 off of your first purchase. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets, the lowest prices guaranteed.
And Cricket, that was not the potential sponsor.
Yeah.
That's making me refrain from the ass
Yeah, we got to
Jackets
be
term
nice.
for the while. I
We
mean
gotta
Blue
be nice,
Jackets.
but that's not that.
All right, Pete Blackburn will be joining us here shortly. So we'll go through a couple of these other polls. Here's a good one. What's the best jersey in the league assigned for your own teams? Of course,
Chicago Blackhawks.
it's the Blackhawks. Over 21% of the 146 votes. I find it funny that the original 6 finished 1 through 6 in this polling. I mean, you can't argue with the classics.
Yeah, a classic design will go a lot further than trying to be all loosey-goosey and trendy and all that. Leave that for your alternates and your third jerseys.
The 7th team, so the first team not in the original 6, is the newest team, the Seattle Kraken. So that's kind of
I like the Kraken.
I do like the Kraken,
Yeah, I like
especially
their
the
color
white
scheme.
jerseys. Those pop. Those
look really good, yeah. And their winter classics were good, too.
I did like those once I saw them on the ice, I liked them a lot better
Yeah.
when they were first released. Then you have the Coyotes, Sharks, Kings, Avalanche.
Coyotes,
So yeah, that
The King, something...
I don't like the
The
Kings.
Kings
jerseys.
just doesn't do it for me. The black
They're-
and the gray, it's
they're
just like, all right.
They don't pop. They're
Yeah.
kind of meh. They're there. There's not enough color. They don't.
In
Nothing gravitates my eyeballs on that jersey.
In the early
Gravitates my eye.
Yeah. In the early 2000s, when they had it was still the black and silver, but they had the purple in it too. I liked that. I wish they would incorporate that more often.
Yeah, those were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good jerseys out there.
Yeah,
other than
the
Chicago,
Flames
but they're the
jersey is
best.
way too low.
Yeah. That's
I didn't like the one they wore against the Hawks.
No, those are
no,
bad.
that's their like reverse retro
those
alternate
they
whatever.
wore those like in the 90s, early 2000s. But the classic red with the yellow trim
that they've
jerseys,
switched back to. Yeah.
those are, no pun intended, those are fire.
They are fire.
Those are good.
They're flame.
Another quick couple we go to. Favorite road city to play. Chicago appeared on that list with 2.73 of the votes.
That's fair.
Yeah, Las Vegas, weird, first,
No way.
25.14%.
Really?
New York was second. Then we have Montreal and Nashville. Vancouver and all their gentlemen's clubs finished fifth. Again, weird. So there you go. The cities where you can go out and find some vibrant nightlife are the top of your list.
Yeah.
The worst city, this was probably the most predictable.
Yeah.
The least favorite, not worst, least favorite road city to play in.
Can I guess?
You can.
Go for it.
St. Louis.
No.
No. Close.
St. Louis of Canada, Winnipeg.
There you go.
41.24%.
Yeah.
Almost half the players said, I mean, I can imagine that. Winnipeg.
Yeah, when your
going to play
season
there in February can't be fun.
when your season includes potentially having to go to Winnipeg during November, December, January, March, or January, February, and March, that's gonna suck.
Yeah, so top
There's
five, or I should say bottom five: Winnipeg, Ottawa, Buffalo, Raleigh, and then Tempe/Phoenix.
Aw.
That's interesting.
I guess
I mean,
players probably don't like hanging out on a college campus. At least some of them.
some of them probably don't. Yeah,
Some guys that hate Trevor Zegras.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I I would think going to Arizona would be like a nice break, like the opposite of going to Winnipeg. But yeah, going to Arizona to then go play in a college arena, I'm sure there'd be some NHLers that are like, what the F is this?
Yeah, for sure. But again, like a lot of these cities probably have to do maybe with like airports and like convenience of getting around. Because how often do these guys get time in these cities when they're there?
Right? It's usually you fly in.
If you fly in the night before, you play the game, you leave right after the game.
Right.
Sometimes you show up the morning of the game, depending on travel. So it's not like these guys are hanging out for a while.
That's true.
But you know, I bet a lot of these teams probably make sure they figure out an off day when they go to Vegas, just because it's Vegas.
Yeah, an extra day.
So the only other kind of fun ones that surprisingly no Blackhawks made the list. Who's the best player in the league? And
wait, no Blackhawk made that list?
Surprisingly,
oh,
no.
Darn. But underrated Nikita Kucherov did.
Yes, he's third.
As did underrated Alexander Barkov.
Right. They totally underrated.
You
But no
cannot be
surprise.
underrated and the third best player in the league at the same time. Come on.
Yeah. Apparently Nikita Kucherov voted for himself.
He probably did.
Him and Braden Point swapped votes.
Yeah.
I'll vote for you if you vote for me. 181 votes for best player in the league, and Connor McDavid with 69.06
nice point
of the vote. Hard to argue with that. Nathan McKinnon second. Kucherov, Crosby, Cale Makar, top 5. Others getting more than a vote here, or just a vote. Kirill Kaprizov, Austin Matthews, Barkov, Philip Forsberg. Way to vote for yourself, dude.
Yeah.
And Artemi Panarin. Apparently Patrick Kane got a vote.
Sure. Yeah.
Philip
That
Forsberg.
makes sense. That's somebody on Nashville voting for
That was
him.
Philip Forsberg voting for it. It had to be. It's best player, not creepiest mustache.
This is anonymous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
waste of a vote.
Ballot signed Philip Forsberg.
That's like writing in Mickey Mouse for like a presidential.
yeah.
Just don't vote.
It's a waste of a vote.
Just don't vote. All right, best goalie in the league, 183 votes, getting 44.26%. Andrei Vasilevsky, despite barely playing this season so far, still the best goalie.
Yeah. Hard to
argue with that. Connor Hellebuyck second. I think that's about right. Hellebuyck, I don't know. I mean, I'd take either one on my team.
Yeah, I would too.
Thatcher Demko up to number 3. Imagine that wouldn't have been the same
bias,
last year. Then you have Ilya Sorokin.
He's good.
Igor Shesterkin.
He's good.
And Jeremy Swayman.
He sucks.
On the list.
He's terrible.
He's a fraud.
He's horrible.
Yeah.
Probably the worst goalie in the league.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that because Pete Blackburn just joined the show.
I could see him giving you the middle finger in the little chat room. Yes. No, totally not a coincidence at all. But yeah. And Linus Ullmark also there.
Yeah.
You know, everybody loves huggers, I guess.
Yeah. Why not?
All right. Well, as our biggest Boston Bruins fan that we know is cursing us in the green room, we'll take a little quick break, pay a couple bills before we bring him in and talk NHL All-Star Game. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, we've got great news for you. Our partner at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Fox Lake is starting their Ray Resolution, or as like we like to say, it should have been called the Resolution.
Yes, I said that on the Bear Show a few years ago.
Yep.
Resolution, it's right there, man.
It's right there. Start something new. Sales event is going on now. You know what that means? Well, if you don't, I'm going to tell you, you'll be able to shop incredible savings on every new vehicle in stock because they want to clear the lot to make room for the brand new 2024 vehicles. For a limited time, get up to $9,000 on all new Jeep models with dealer discount, and that's not all. Shop their last call on remaining 2023 Dodge Challenger and Charger models, including the Hellcats, Scat Packs, worst car name ever, and more. Dodge is more powerful, has the most powerful muscle cars available, and you don't want to miss out on their last call with over 20 Dodge muscle cars to choose from. Get some muscles at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. You'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories and drive home with more money in your pocket than you'd expect thanks to Ray's Price Promise. Don't miss out. Shop great deals all month long and save big because Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram makes buying a new vehicle more affordable than ever. And CHGO fans can get a free oil change when you mention CHGO at the service center or mention CHGO when you book online at cdjr.com/service, but you have to schedule before January 31st, which is tomorrow. So don't
today.
wait. It's today.
Actually today.
It is today. I have no
You
idea.
got to act fast, real fast.
Well, as soon as this show's over, go to that website and book. You don't have to get it by today. You just have to book it by today. Get your free oil change. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, then you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and
Scat Pack.
Ram. They have those too because they're the only team we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, head to raycdjr.com. Serving the community since 1963.
Looking at these Scat Packs, they are pretty sleek looking.
It's just, I'm sure they're a great car. They're just a horrible name.
Yeah.
The Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Red Eye Jailbreak is the full name of that car.
Too many names.
I didn't watch.
I feel like I have to put on. Look at that. I feel like I have to put on an Ed Hardy shirt and Axe body spray just to get in the vehicle.
The Hellcat.
I mean, I didn't watch Schitt's Creek for like 2 years because like that's a stupid name. I hate that. It's a dumb joke. Why are we naming it that?
Great show.
Great show.
And you know what else is a great show? Anything about ComEd and the electric grid, because it is easier than ever for businesses to switch to electric vehicles, something we can all get behind for the health of our planet and the well-being of all of us who share it.
That's 100% correct. The electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we all move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow. Whether you have one delivery van or, like Jeremy Swayman, a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd could help you make the changes that make the most sense.
Well, Greg, since you seem to be so knowledgeable, what should business owners do?
I'm glad you asked. They should head over to comed.com/clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Well, wait till after the show and then start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. That's comed.com/clean.
Did you say comed.com/clean?
3 times already. Yes. Go now and see how electric connects us all to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come.
All right. Without any further ado, we welcome in on the CHGO Sports Unsponsored Hotline, Pete Blackburn of the What Chaos podcast. That is Pete Blackburn, a.k.a. the 6-piece Chicken McNugget, a.k.a. Pete Saltburn, a.k.a. the biggest Boston homer that you ever know. Pete, welcome to the show.
Well,
wow, you're infringing on DJ's territory with this nickname bonanza.
I'm trying to, just trying to be appreciative of you guys and your time, and get in on the bit.
We gave you
Respect.
the Jeremy Swayman shot because we saw your T-shirt there, and we're just like, screw this.
Who is lurking behind you?
That would be one David Bean.
Okay, all right.
He's got the right.
As soon as he heard nicknames start getting thrown out, he was like, "Excuse me," and made his way over here. But he is wearing a Blackhawks sweater, so
yeah, that is good to see that he's got the league's best jersey on there, according to anonymous NHL players.
It's a good jersey. I don't know if it's the best.
It is a good one. Is it a Nick Foligno one?
No, it's actually a hit him.
Oh, it's
Bean.
It's Blackhawks legend DJ Bean.
Honestly, he would be like the 3rd best player on that team.
No argument here.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Can he score?
Yeah,
all right.
I think so.
He's hired
on the ice.
I don't know. It's none of my business.
All right. So anyway, you guys, you're heading to Toronto tomorrow, I believe, to take in all the festivities of the glorious NHL All-Star weekend. So you guys are going to be there doing your thing. You don't have to reveal too much of your plans, but who is the person you really hope to get an interview with for the show the most, and why is it Tate McRae?
It is Tate McRae, yeah. I mean, Tate McRae has been the biggest pillar of this show, probably more than the NHL itself, since its inception. So, we're probably not going to get Tate McRae because Tate McRae is the world's biggest superstar. And the growth of Tate McRae just in the lifespan of this podcast has been unbelievable. When we met her on episode 1 or 2, everybody was like, who? And now she's basically the commissioner of the NHL. So good for her.
I'll be honest, I never heard of her until you guys started talking about her, and now she seems to be in my feed all the time. So it's the What Chaos bump. It's worked.
That's right. That is the most effective What Chaos bump that has ever existed. And now it seems like there's like a What Chaos curse where everybody that we've had on the show is either like going through some shit or like is hurt and stuff like that. So it's tough. We're going to have to bounce back in the second half, I think, with our guests.
Yeah.
So you're saying everybody at the All-Star game is just going to avoid you guys? Like, no,
Like the plague, baby.
Too busy. Can't do it.
We've sent out media requests, and everybody has been like, absolutely not. This is essentially the Madden cover. No, thank you.
Yeah, we've ordered industrial size bubble wrap for Kevin Korchinski because he's the only one of the 4 Blackhawks that you guys interviewed that hasn't been hurt at some point this season. So that's we appreciate all that you were doing to get the show started, but that's coming at a price for us over here.
He did kind of get hurt by a stray from David Yurchek this week. So
that is true. He was he was basically that meme of the guy that's just like pointing at himself like, me?
Yeah, me? Or the 50 Cent meme? Like, what are you looking me for?
Yeah.
Oh, those Blue Jackets, man. We just can't go through a week without them doing something. But what are you looking forward to the most out of this NHL All-Star? Is it the draft? Is it the skills competition, the game itself, seeing the quote piss jerseys in person? Like, what are you most looking forward to?
It's definitely not the game itself. I think the game itself is probably the least interesting part of NHL All-Star Weekend every year. Honestly, I think Pro Shop Wars is going to be the highlight of my weekend. The jerseys are incredible. I want to see what the rest of the merch looks like. I'm very excited to get my hands on the Nathan MacKinnon Piss jersey, which has been at the top of my shopping list since those were even debuted. So, I'm very excited for the Piss jersey and everything around it.
I was kind of bummed that they released the full uniforms and the blue and the red teams have blue and red. I'm going to show my Midwesternness here, breezers, and the white and black, or the white and yellow went with black. Like, I was kind of hoping for all yellow uniforms.
You have it all yellow.
There's never enough piss when it comes to the NHL. Damn it.
I do like that the Piss jersey, which I declared as my favorite right off the bat. The Piss jersey, I think, has become like the symbolic jersey of this year's All-Star game. It's the one that they hung off the CN tower in the augmented reality clip that they posted. I think Bieber's been in that Piss jersey more than any of the other ones. The Piss jersey, I think, is the iconic of the bunch.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think if they're looking to make the most out of the Piss jersey, Tate McRae is probably going to have to wear one at some point during the weekend, right?
She is. She's the captain of the Piss team.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, very cool.
You're right.
Yeah. Her and Nathan MacKinnon captaining the Piss team.
Captain of the Piss team. That's true.
It's the honor you have to give to the biggest star that's going to be there this weekend. So it makes perfect sense. They finally did it right at the NHL offices. Right. In all honesty, though, like when these jerseys first came out, I was kind of like, okay, I don't mind them, but the more I see them, I'm going to have to get one. I'm kind of bummed that Bedard's not going to wear one.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to get one. I don't know what color yet. I haven't.
You know what color.
I haven't.
You can't say like I got to get a Piss jersey. I don't know which one I'm going to get.
I mean,
DJ wants his mic live.
Embrace the piss. Embrace the piss.
I'm on my third cup of coffee, so can we stop talking about piss right now? I might not make it to the end of the show.
We were talking about this before a show this week. Like, everybody made a big deal about like, oh, this jersey stinks. It looks so goofy or whatever. Look at the jerseys from the All-Star games from like the past 10, 15 years. We have like a skewed thought towards All-Star jerseys because last year was by far the best jerseys that they've had at the All-Star game for a long time. Mm-hmm. The other jerseys, like, they're not even interesting. They suck. They're not even interesting. Some of them have looked okay and inoffensive, but that's like the best you've gotten from All-Star jerseys. I think this year's jerseys, they may be ridiculous. They may be outrageous. You can even say that they're awful. They're at least fun and they took a swing. And I think that they're going to be remembered. And I don't think that any of the other ones for most of like the last 10 years are going to be remembered.
The ones that stick out to me were the Mountain Dew ones, where they were the neon yellow or neon green. And like, it was just like, it's just bad. Like it's not appealing at all. It was during that craze where like, if you had a white jersey, you had to also have white gloves. Like it just all just didn't look great.
That was the Columbus.
I think that was a Columbus
Foligno
one.
versus Taves game.
Yeah. So we apologize to Nick that he had to endure that. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have bad jerseys, at least make them fun in a way that you're just like, well, like you get to a point where you're just like, I kind of have to get that jersey just because of how bad it is.
They got exactly what they wanted out of it. We're still talking about them here. Like they're getting the engagement. I think they did a good job. And I love the ridiculous like lowercase name on the bottom of the jersey. I think that's fantastic. It just make them as ridiculous and stupid as you want, because it's just a refreshing change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they're leaning into it, and I give them credit for it, especially with the game being in Toronto. Like, I was so afraid that it being in Toronto, they were going to be super, like, traditional and have these sort of retro-esque jerseys and be really, like, up their own ass about the history with the game being in Toronto. But it has gone completely the other way, where they're like, let's just make this the biggest party you've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I think that's the right way to go. And you have a team in the Maple Leafs that has, well, you have Toronto, so you have the connection with Bieber. They've done alternate jerseys with Bieber before, the Maple Leafs have, and you have like those exciting players that like the younger generation of hockey fan like glob onto with like Marner and Nylander and Matthews and guys like that. So why not lean into that rather than just being, the prestigious shield of the NHL and all that stuff, because that no one cares about that anymore. Like the original six is like cool, but like also no one cares about the history all that much, especially the section of fans and the generation of fans that the NHL needs to loop in, which is the younger demographic.
Yeah, and that's not the demographic of the All-Star game. The All-Star game is for young people, so they're kind of doing it right.
Yeah, you can't say that the NHL needs to grow the game and then the next breath say these jerseys stink. Like, these jerseys are trying to get, they're not made for guys of my demographic. They're made for a much younger demographic, and I get that. I'm all for it. Bring on more ridiculousness. That's what I say. Don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah,
that's right.
So,
also, is Drake dead? We haven't heard Drake's name like once in relation to this All-Star game.
I was surprised by that.
You know how hard it is to go like months of talk about Toronto and a sports thing and not be like, Drake's involved.
Yeah, I'm surprised that stupid owl logo isn't on the jersey.
Does the NBA have him signed to some sort of like exclusive contract? He's not allowed to venture into other sports.
No, he's everywhere.
I mean, he's been all over the place before.
Shows you how much I pay attention.
Yeah, no, I have been.
Is he still on Degrassi Junior High? That's where
he might be. I think he made a cameo in the reboot, but yeah, I was surprised that Drake wasn't involved at all. Or maybe this is the best kept secret the NHL has ever had, is he's going to come out.
Zero chance.
Yeah.
Zero chance.
Right. No, I know. I'm just
you think if the NHL got Drake to do something with the All-Star game, they wouldn't be shoving it so far up our ass for like the last month and a half. They would for sure be letting us know.
Yeah. No, that's true. It is surprising, but I guess like you do still have a lot of that Toronto connection, and it is still the NHL. Like you're working with the budget here.
That's fair.
All right. We got a few minutes left before we wrap things up. We're at the All-Star break, just past the halfway point. What would you say is your biggest surprise in the NHL and your biggest disappointment so far around the league?
Surprise, like the Oilers being the greatest team that has graced the NHL's ice surface
immediately after being the worst team.
Immediately after being the worst and most embarrassing, both in the same season, is truly incredible and a real gift to a neutral fan. Like what a joy that experience has been in Edmonton this year. Disappointment, like there's some disappointing teams. Like the New Jersey Devils have been super disappointing for me. just, I don't know, like the Kings are right there alongside him right now. I don't know if they snap out of it at this point. But like we actually just had this conversation for tomorrow's episode. Like DJ made the point that like the most disappointing thing that has happened for him this season is Connor Bedard getting hurt, and that is that's a fair answer. And I think especially considering like the one silver lining for me for Connor Bedard getting hurt was maybe the Calder discussion would get interesting, and it hasn't. It's still Connor Bedard or bust basically, and so like that's been a real kind of knock on like the one thing that Chicago had going for it this year.
Yeah, losing Bedard, awful for the Blackhawks, awful for the league, and now you got Adam Fantilli also out for a couple weeks too after getting his leg cut. So yeah, I mean the rookies. The rookie class that it was supposed to be has definitely taken some hits, so that's been super disappointing.
I do like though this opens up the opportunity for people to have some takes. Like both guys are missing 8 weeks it seems, and Connor Bedard broke his face, and Adam Fantilli got a boo-boo on his calf. So takes there. Chicago. Is he not tough enough to play in the NHL?
Yeah, he's not durable enough. Yeah,
that's right.
I kind of have to agree with you, Pete. It's hard to argue that.
The worst thing to come out of this is now we have to actually give some credence to both Brock Faber and Marco Rossi in the discussion as Calder.
Well, they're the only two left, so yeah, we have to talk about them.
Hey, that's Joel Hofer slander. Joel Hofer is leading the charge for the second half. If I've seen anything like this story before, we will be talking about Joel Hofer at the end of the year.
Yeah,
I hope not.
We had to take the bombardment of the Brock Faber stuff from Minnesota Wild fan, and nobody here thinks Brock Faber is not worthy of being in the discussion. But I mean, he's not Connor Bedard. Like,
right?
He plays 30 minutes and has a good plus minus. Well, so what?
All due respect to Brock Faber, like still like not really sniffing the Connor Bedard thing, especially when you talk about like almost a point per game on an AHL team in his 18-year-old season. Like crazy that he's doing what he's doing and living up to the hype.
He's going to miss his entire 6 to 8 weeks. He left as the team's leading point scorer. He's going to return and still be the team's leading point scorer. Nobody's going to pass him.
I don't see Jason Dickinson getting 9 points over the next 4 weeks.
I don't see that happening.
No.
I don't see the teams getting 9 points.
That alone is so depressing.
He's going to have to either score all 9 goals or get an assist on all 9 goals
over 4 weeks.
It is. That's where we are. We're in hockey hell, Pete.
It's life in Chicago right now.
Guys. Hey, we got Connor Bedard. We're playing the long game.
Yeah, I mean, this is
we're taking
really
our
rough.
lumps now, so that when we're celebrating at the parades,
the documentary is gonna be great. Just
it'll be all right.
We have a file. We have a Google Doc that we started last year as our Remember When file. So when this team gets back to being a playoff team and a contender, we can be like, hey. Remember that time Jujhar Khaira was on our second power play unit? Like things like that. And this is going to be, remember when Boris Kachuk had 6 breakaways in 2 games and didn't have any goals? Yeah. That's where we are.
Zach Sanford.
Remember
and
Boris Kachuk?
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah, period.
Remember when the Blackhawks like claimed every available player on waivers just so that they could have bodies that like somewhat represented an NHL roster?
Yeah.
The Remington Pitlick era. That's it's not his full name, but we've
no, it is. It is now.
Yeah, it is.
For us, his full name is Remington, so we only call him Remington Pitlick, because there's really not much else to talk about when it comes to
you got to get get creative. That's for sure. Pete, I did want to ask you about the All-Star weekend festivities, the skills challenge that is changing this year. Instead of having guys just specifically in the different categories, 12 guys competing against each other for $1 million in quotation marks.
Why in quotation marks?
Because half of it goes to charity.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
well, it's still $1 million.
From what I heard, they're playing for a charity, so half goes to charity, half goes to them. Okay. I could be wrong on that. Now you've planted that seed of doubt in that information.
I do like, though, that like if it's wrong, that now whoever wins has to feel bad because you were like, hey, give half of it to charity.
That's true. Yeah. And if I know anything about this show, it is well listened to among NHL players. But I did want to get one of the final event of the skills challenge is the top 6 point getters going through the NHL skills obstacle course. I have done as much extensive research as I could. I don't think we know much about this obstacle course. What would you like to see the NHL obstacle course involve?
A ring of fire, a goalie race, a spiked pit in like the ground. Maybe like the center ice just opens up and there's a spiked pit there.
Mm-hmm.
DJ says a trampoline. That would be really interesting. And
With ice
then
skates on, yeah.
somehow mascots involved as well.
Oh, the mascots are going to be involved.
Oh, how about the top 6 have to get in their team's respective mascot costume and do the obstacle course in the mascot costume?
Yes.
Well, they're going to have to bring like multiple Maple Leaf and Canuck mascots because half the field are from those 2 teams. So,
well, yeah, you can get the Carlton the Bear.
Well, if we know anything about the Leafs, they're not going to make the final.
that's true. They're not getting out of the first round.
That's true.
Yeah, good point. Shame on me for not recognizing that. I'm going to be disappointed if the final obstacle course is not hosted by Guy Ledouche from Most Extreme Elimination Challenge and just have like boulders and things rolling at them. Like that, they just like, who cares about injuries? Just go for it.
That should be what the injured players who couldn't make the All-Star game should do. You should have Bedard and Jack Hughes just chucking foam boulders down.
No, not foam boulders, real boulders.
Okay, well,
Go big or go home. It's $1 million on the line.
that's true.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's throw tasers in there as well. Let's tase
He's
the
hiking
guy in
somewhere
last
up in the
place.
North Woods.
Make
Actual
them-
tasers.
Make
sorry.
them go faster.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Chariot races. Let's get weird. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up our time here with Pete. Thanks for being generous with your time. Have safe travels to and from Toronto.
Yeah, enjoy.
Enjoy all the grab ass and whatnot you guys are going to do at the All-Star Game weekend. We're looking forward to all the content you guys are going to provide of total serious, no satire whatsoever nature.
That's right. And then we're going straight from there to the Super Bowl next week. So
See you there, Pete.
Man,
gonna be a wild time.
You are living the dream. Say hello to all those New Jersey Devil fans you just acquired over the past few days.
Oh no.
All right, be good, Pete.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next week if we
Sounds
don't
good.
lose you in Vegas.
We'll see.
All right.
Thanks,
That's
Pete.
Pete Blackburn from the wonderful What Chaos podcast, brethren of ours here on the All-City Network. If you have not subscribed to their YouTube page, please do so. They are a hoot.
They're looking to get to 3,000 YouTube subscribers this week, and listen to one of their more recent shows. Apparently, they have something very exciting planned for once they reach 3,000.
I can only imagine.
I can only
it's
imagine.
Probably going to involve some sort of nudity or something. I don't know.
Who knows?
But
Who knows?
subscribe and find out. Get us there quicker.
Yep.
So we can find out. Speaking of subscribing,
Subscribe to us, too.
Yes, you should be subscribing to the YouTube page if you haven't done that already. Hit the like button while you're watching. The math just really isn't adding up between the people watching and the likes we have. And while you're subscribing to stuff, become a diehard here at CHGO. You're going to get all kinds of awesome perks. You're going to get a free hat or t-shirt upon signing. You're going to get access to all the premium content, not only for Blackhawks, but for all of our beats. Mario and I's Rebuild Report is going to be out soon. For this week, to catch you up, Jay does a weekly Blackhawks beat, kind of takes you inside the curtain or behind the curtain of the Blackhawks beats every week. And you can only read those if you're diehards.
Yep.
Plus, you get access to our Discord channel where you can chat with other Blackhawk fans and Chicago sports fans. You're going to get, we're going to do more of those OT chats in there. You get first crack at Mailbag Monday questions.
Yep.
You get 20% off all merch. That includes
And
tickets
events.
for takeovers. We had found 8 tickets for our Red Wings takeover, but those sold out like instantly. So I think those are pretty much done.
Those 8 tickets that we found in the CHGO couch cushions went very quickly.
Very quick.
And we will say the diehards heard about them first. So it's
access to those first.
Definitely worth it to become a CHGO diehard, because not only if you love what we do as the Blackhawks beat group, you become a diehard, you get access to CHGO sports as a whole. So if you're a huge Hawks fan, and let's say the Bears are your second team, you get all the diehard access to the Bears stuff as well. Same across the board: Cubs, Sox, Bulls, Sky, Fire, Red Stars, all of that. You get all the access. So it's not just, you could only pay attention to one team. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But if you want to get the full access, becoming a diehard is well worth it. And we are up to 107 new diehards in the month of January. So
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate the community.
Love to see that. The CHGO community is continuing to grow. So yeah, become a diehard, get in on the action, hop on the ride.
Yep. And I do believe there is the possibility of a third takeover before the end of the season. So if you missed out on the first 2, hang in there. I believe we're working on a third one. We're also working on
some more events coming up.
We got some watch-along road watch parties with live post-game shows coming up. Mm-hmm. And we're actually going to do some fun watch-alongs here in studio. We're going to do a couple of those before the end of the season.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to spend 6 hours with us, you'll have your opportunity to do
Get
so.
To see how unexciting it really is here.
More bathroom breaks.
Windy City Hockey, I'm not making any promises, and I'm going to learn how to make the voice chat work next time. But I think I figured it out.
Yeah, I think y'all figured it out.
I think I was given bad information, and I applied that bad information, and it didn't work. And then when I did the opposite of said bad information, it miraculously worked.
Interesting.
So
you got bad scores.
I did. My scores were no good for the Discord. All right, that's going to wrap it up today here on the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast. We'll be back tomorrow at 3. Sorry for the confusion.
I apologize.
It's all Lawrence's fault.
Yell at Lawrence.
Lawrence had to get his hair did before going to Vegas.
Got to meet Pete Blackburn in Vegas. I got to have the hair looking good.
You're going to end up wearing a hat the whole time you're in Vegas. If I see one picture with you in a hat, I'm going to be so mad.
I probably won't wear a hat unless it's a bad haircut. But my girl, Anna, she does great work. So I don't know. All right, well,
no pressure, Anna, but make it a good one. Yes, so we'll be back tomorrow at 3. I believe we're gonna do a prospect update tomorrow. That's
we're gonna run through the future of the team, because
sit here and read the rebuild report,
read
word for word, and call it a day.
Yep. So there you go.
All right, we'll see you at 3 tomorrow. Should be fun. Everybody's hyped about the prospects. We'll update you all, and if you got any kind of prospect questions, throw them up in the chat. We'll try and get to those as well. So once again, for Mario, I'm Greg, Jay in spirit. Thanks to Lawrence for causing us to come on a half hour earlier and running the dials here. And don't forget, CHGO Blackhawks is powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at comed.com/clean. We'll see you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.